What's going on, internet? IFC, why you gotta tease me like this? You take two of my favorite modern actresses, throw them in a movie together with a poster that's pretty fucking awesome, and then you deliver this. Feral is directed by Mark Young. It stars Scout Taylor Compton and Olivia Lucciardi, and it tells the story of a group of medical students who go hiking in the woods only for one of them to be bitten by a feral human and get infected, which ends up putting them all in danger. So as I said, I absolutely adore Olivia Lucciardi and Scout Taylor Compton. It Follows is still my favorite horror film ever made. Butcher's Block was my favorite season of Channel Zero ever made. I may do a review of those down the line before season 4 starts. And Scout Taylor Compton continues to prove herself a really great actress despite the films that she picks oftentimes not being very good. So throwing them in a movie together had me really intrigued. And then I watched it. To be fair, Scout Taylor Compton and Olivia Lucciardi are the best parts of this film. They're without a doubt the best performers in this movie, but ultimately that really just makes the film feel like a giant waste of a really good cast. The two of them do what they can to make some of the film's dialogue work, but even the best of it all just comes across as so forced.
So how did you two meet anyway?
At the rabbit hole.
So what were you doing in that dump?
Looking for cheap sex.
And I found it.
The entire opening dialogue among our characters just ends up being a shopping list of all 6 characters listing off what kind of doctors they're gonna be. It's a 5-minute sequence of forced exposition that really just feels incredibly shoved down your throat, and it is the definition of show don't tell. What, one character proposing to his girlfriend, despite the fact that we know next to nothing about them and they've only had 2 minutes of screen time preceding this, isn't enough for you to get attached to them? Too bad, time for the killing to start. All in all, the acting isn't even that bad, all things considered, but the exceptionally lazy writing and poor characterization make the performances feel a lot worse. The most character development we get in the entire film is for Scout's character Alice, and all of that amounts to, I love my dad and also I'm gay. There are no arcs, there's no development, they're just stereotypes. But the writing isn't clever enough to make light of the fact that they're stereotypes, and instead it leaves the film feeling like it was pulled out of the mid-2000s. At several points the movie decides that the scene you're watching at the moment needs to pause to shift the action elsewhere, despite whatever is going on screen at the moment. And if this improved the pacing, it would be fine, but instead it's incredibly jarring, because you'll be in the middle of a scene that's at least trying to be tense, or trying to have stakes, and then you'll cut away to a scene of people talking and throwing more exposition at you. And multiple times when this happened, it ended up just being unintentionally hilarious. The funniest one involving a bear trap. Without spoiling too much, it cuts away moments after a character's foot gets stuck, then cuts abruptly to Lou Temple talking about his family to Scout Taylor Compton and throwing more exposition at you as the audience. And then abruptly, for no real reason, it cuts back to character A, still screaming with his leg caught in a bear trap, mere moments after we left him, and it just feels more comedic than anything. The ferals, as this movie calls them, are just people afflicted with the feral virus. And really, they just act like rabid, animalistic people with yellow eyes and sharp teeth. So basically, they're just zombies. They don't really look good or bad, they look fine. Some of their movements are sped up in post and it looks not great. They make clicking noises that really just sound like a pitched down woodpecker, and they run around on all fours like the Rake. Honestly, most of this movie's problems can be traced back to its screenplay, which, as I've said, comes off as just vapid and feels like it was pulled out of the mid-2000s. From the lazy dialogue to the paper-thin characters to the awful pacing, it's shot very well. I love the color palette, and for what they're given, the 2 lead actresses do a good job. And at some points, I would dare say they even made some of the more awkward lines feel natural enough.
She's our friend! Our friend is about to rip us apart!
But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough to save this movie. I don't hate it, but it all just comes across as so vapid and dull. I was just so uninvested in any of these paper-thin characters, and it was really hard for me to feel anything about this movie except for hollow. I'm gonna say that Feral is soulless. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel, you want to see more, click down there, like, comment, subscribe. The first teaser trailer for my feature film Lilith has officially dropped online. I'm going to put the link down there in the description if you want to check it out. If you've seen Feral, tell me what you thought of that. Leave your comments below. I'm really curious what other people thought of this movie. I didn't hate it, it just wasn't for me. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.
They're here.